come on up then. Even though you're a member of the public, you're...
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Weiskopf with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Abuse and Neglect Detail. I just want to clarify some of the questions that I heard you were asking, just so you understand the system, that I'm aware of how it works. So when a person is brought to the attention of family court on whether or not they're of sound mind to take care of the finances, it goes to family court. From family court, they'll determine if they should become a ward of the state. From my understanding, Commissioner Norheim is the only person that hears all these hearings, and he'll make a determination on whether or not that person should become a ward of the state. From there, then it's decided, well, who should become the guardian for the ward of the state? And sometimes the family members, or the complaints that we're hearing from our agency, is the family members not even aware that this family court is occurring, or that a private guardian has now been awarded the guardian over the estate. So family members will come and go to family court to file their arguments, or at least petition that they should be the guardians of their own family member. Norheim is supposed to hear all arguments and then come up with a ruling and come up with a decision on who should take care of the ward. The complaints we're getting, and I don't know how many, we're not getting 8,500 complaints, but the complaints we're getting is from the family members is that Norheim is ignoring their testimony or their rationale of why they should become the guardian, and Norheim is ignoring. Norheim could hold an evidentiary hearing if he chooses to, but a lot of times the complaints that we get from the citizens is that he ignores their testimony or doesn't allow them to speak. He won't hold an evidentiary hearing, and then he makes a ruling, and it goes to a private guardian. The next thing the family members knows is the private guardian has total access over the finances of these wards. And what the private guardians are doing now is they're charging these fees for all the different services that they're charging, and that gets charged against the ward's estate, so the ward's estate starts depleting. As the ward's estate starts depleting and they have no more liquid cash, the complaints that we're getting is that the private guardians are now authorized, and they have to petition it to the family court. They petition to, hey, can we sell the cars, and can we sell the house, and can we sell the coin collections? Therefore, we could continue to provide the services. When that gets approved by family court, go ahead, the private guardians are allowed to facilitate that transaction. But there's no oversight. So a house that's worth $300,000, the private guardian can sell it for $100,000 or $150,000. The goal is to create liquid assets again. The goal is to create liquid assets again, so that way the private guardian can continue to charge the fees that have to go through family court, and then the family court will sign off on it. Those are the complaints that we have. From a law enforcement aspect, we don't have the oversight to look at the rulings of if the commissioner is making an appropriate decision or not. They have what's called the Judicial Discipline Committee, which is in Carson City, that looks over judicial oversight of judges' conducts. So the other complaint we have is when they try to argue over Norheim, they have to go to Judge Hoskin for Judge Hoskin to evaluate if Norheim made appropriate rulings or not. And the argument we get, or the complaints we get from the citizens, is that then Judge Hoskin will rubber stamp it and say Norheim made appropriate decisions, or Judge Hoskin doesn't hear the family's complaint. Again, we try to explain to the folks that we don't have oversight on the guardian process. NRS 159 kind of has regulations. NRS 159 has regulations on what guardians have to do, but those are just regulations. When they don't submit their quarterly reports or their annual reports on what they're doing to take care of the guardian and justify their fees, there's really no oversight from a law enforcement aspect. So that's how we're involved in it. Tomorrow I am meeting with the public guardian to understand better what the public guardians do. I have intent to meet with David Barker eventually, now that I know that he's overseeing this. But that is the overall gist of the complaints that we get from a law enforcement aspect, that there's no oversight on these private guardians, that they're charging these ridiculous fees, that Norheim is ignoring and not allowing family members to take care of the family members. And I don't know what the argument is of why he would rule that way, but that's the complaints we're getting. And whether or not Norheim is making appropriate decisions, I'm not here to say he is or isn't, but those are the common complaints, or that's the common theme that we're getting, just so you have a better understanding how the system is currently affecting these family members here.
Okay, thank you, and we'll probably call you back. I appreciate It's detective, right? No, please, I don't want any applause during. And detective, I can make sure that staff gets your contact information. Is it detective? Lieutenant. Okay, I apologize.